and okay.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be our visitors taking on our home team. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaunton. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. Oh, what a move. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep a string of good games going right here.
Now a 2nd and 10.
It moves to 2nd and 10.
Now back to throw. His throw incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. They'll look to throw here. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their 3rd-year quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. He didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he's putting together a very strong first half of the season. Currently the NFL's leader in touchdown passes. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Yeah, he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. At the 23.
Back to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win. Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Operating from the gun, Lyles. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3rd down and 13.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 13.
Looking to throw. Lyles. Can't get away, and he's taken down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now back out comes the offense. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a 1st down. Off the RPO, he completes it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Lyles. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
They run the counter. Marion. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And all the way down to the 39. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw. The throw right side here going to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. When you look at this defense, they find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
And on now is the punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight.
It's 4th down.
And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Marion. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were. And you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. A boatload of carries, 98 yards, and a score.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Up the middle they go. Marion. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Back to throw. Lyles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now a give, right side. Marion. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and...
Operating from the gun. Lyles. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's the option. And he's going to be met at about the 43. From the 43, here's 2nd down and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They run the counter. Marion. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 11 yards there, 1st down.
22-yard line.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
At the 22-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup.
Now a handoff up the middle. Marion. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 51 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through and picking up first downs.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brought down at the 2-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Off the bootleg. Lyles. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Robertson. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. The visitors' offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And as we move deeper into the season, he continues to put up big numbers on a weekly basis. As you see here, he's the NFL's leader in receptions to this point of the year. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Slot man moves right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. The tight end in motion right. On first down, Bennett. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play.
Back to throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Morgan. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. 3rd and 2. Back to throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0.
Visitors, nothing.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try to put some pressure on the defense.
He may go. Touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big stroke like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Visitors, 7.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. From the 29, here's 2nd down at 7. Now fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
It's now 3rd and 9.
From the gun on 3rd down. Lyles. Pressure comes, and down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll drop the throw. And complete on the right side to Bennett.
A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
And now a high kick trying to pin them back. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Lyles. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They go play action here on 1st down. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 2nd down.
To number 81. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun. Lyles. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual, because ordinarily, when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
Guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? They'll run on 1st down. It's Bennett. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. From the gun on third down, Lyles will try to pick it up himself. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night prime time, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here in our thankfully dry studios in Orlando. That's obviously not the case at the stadium, where the rain continues to play a factor in this game. Who will take better advantage of it in the second half? To find out the answer, let's go back out to the stadium and rejoin our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thank you. The rain, if anything, maybe intensified while you were covering the halftime report. We'll see how these two coaching staffs want to approach this second half to come. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's been a workhorse in the backfield to start the season. He finds himself in the top 5 in rushing at this point of the year. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. Up the middle they go. Marion. 64 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 48-yard line, here's second and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4.
They'll keep it on the ground. Marion. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
10 at the 35-yard line.
Back to throw. Lyles. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10. They run the counter. Marion. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. There's a first and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the give, this is their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Second and 9.
Gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9.
Looking to throw. Lyles. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Lyles. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Back to throw. Lyles. Touchdown! A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Bennett. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now 2nd and 9. They're going to look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
It's 4th down.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And here now the offense heading back out there. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll try and sneak it here. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for 4th down. Operating from the gun, Lyles. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Lyles. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
On first down, Marion. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. Second and
They'll keep it on the ground. Marion. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lyles. And it's caught. Touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. On play action, they'll throw. Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing route. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. Results in a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
A gain of 11 on the play. Result is a first down.
They'll look to throw again. He finds Hopkins complete. 2nd down and a yard.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard. After 12 yards.
Up the middle they go. Bennett. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
He'll look to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. As we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Touchdown! A 5-yard touchdown. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17.
Visitors 17.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Needing a few yards, here's Matthews. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. On first, it's Matthews again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stopped that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Lyles. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, here's Matthews. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
He was brought down at the 26. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd.
Again, it's Matthews. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
This has been a tremendous drive to this point, and this is all you want, playing with a lead in the 4th quarter. If you can keep the ball on the ground, keep the sticks moving, you're going to be in good shape to finish this one off.
He's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and that late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They run middle with Matthews. And they'll get him down here about the 5-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Looking to put a drive together. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And a 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Bennett. And he'll be down at the 46. Well, they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bennett. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
46-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Bennett. Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On 1st down, it's Bennett. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 135 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down at the 33-yard line. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Bennett. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 4th.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Walden, excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Taken down at the 11-yard line. A 6-yard pickup.
2nd and 4. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
Behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more.
Right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd
Out of the gun now on third down. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the ball will go over on the goal line stand. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. A real chance for them to salt this game away after that turnover on downs, holding a 2-score lead in the 4th quarter. Trying to eat some clock. It's Matthews. Oh, what a juke into space. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. He's going to try and take off with it. And he's got room. He may go. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. As his guys are able to push that lead on a bit further. Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. This one certainly has not gone according to script. You would have thought on paper that this offense would have its way here, but they certainly have not, and they trail big. After this, it figures to be a quiet trip home. And we'll get this to the 32. 2nd down and 6 now.
32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
A gain of 7 results in a 1st down.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. He'll drop to throw. He'll try to pick it up himself. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
That's good for a 1st down. A gain of 13 yards. Result is a
on 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line.
A 3-yard pickup.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Now back to throw. That is caught. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
That's another 1st down. A gain of 14.
And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will take it in for the touchdown. From 10 yards out, And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. Point after here coming up. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So that one a long 11-play drive. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the home team here, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.